Oh, well, it's Friday in the early AM. It's twilight, and I figure that if I can get this resolved, I don't know if I have something bullshit today. I'm not worried. I know the last thing you want to do if you want attention is to post a video, so I'm just going to make the video anyway, and utilize it to make some text-based instrument to get you to do what I say anyway. And it's not as if I'm not afraid of writing. I'm not afraid of writing. I just need to get comfortable in front of the damn microphone and this camera here. I don't even need a camera. I don't even know why you need to look at me. I don't want to look at you. I'm not right now. I'm busy. It's not that I'm antisocial or what is it? Anything goes. So here's some issues. I'm mentally ill or have mental illness. That's a better one. And actually, the mental illness is a lie anyway. It's propagated by evil psychotic oneness, queer God worshipping, anti-Mother Earth, singularian, where was I? Yeah, death worshippers. Yes. Pardon me. I don't need to. Don't need to use words that aren't carefully selected. I'm just trying to make the words come through. Physiologically, so that there's at least some sound coming out of my mouth. Yeah, wonderful. I mean, because this is the one. Why do you do that? Why do you do that? What are you afraid of? You're not afraid of anything. Or if you're afraid of anything, why don't you do a whole lot of fear? There's no hate, so I'll just have some love. Love and have happiness and peace and joy and then all this other wonderful stuff. Wonderful. So here's my theory. We cannot have happiness on this world because some people spell it with a Y and other people spell it with an I. Or something stupid. There's some stupid reason why we can't be all happy on this world. But here's my theory. If I can be happy on my own, fuck you guys. Screw you guys. Or whatever you do. I mean, I can't be responsible for your anguish when your anguish is self-inflicted. I have compassion for you because I had the same problems. Trust me. See, that's what we should have is a dollar bill with the current leader's name, the current leader's, well, I'm sure an artwork disposed to his liking would be appropriate, and of course a scroll work underneath reading, "Trust me." And this is not what he's going for. Maximum trust. How much trust do you get from the people? Hey, here's an idea. Sorry, here's an idea. You know what the economy is? The economy is just people doing shit for other people. Let's see here. You know, what's the other one? And your monkeys and no. Sorry, yeah, they're all apes. Yes, get the cladistics right. Go to the book. I still got a copy of that, do I? I gotta reorder books because people keep, taking them. As a librarian, I suppose I should be like excited. I get to order books. You can't take away my smoke. You can take away anything. But I digress. Over and over, everybody's made out my position. So if I get stoned, I just carry on the family tradition. I wonder how that comes through in this thing. It captures every little wave in the beat. I'm not sure that I stay quiet, you can hear all of the wonderful sounds from the outside. Well, when things start falling downwards on their own, it's time to get ready for the roller coaster. Man, I wish I could stop being so fearful. Yeah, technological singularity is coming. Whatever, woo! Singularitarian, making it happen. It's not happening fast enough. We had the idea long ago. We should already make it happen because it's going to happen, and we know it's going to happen. If we're just squeeze out a little more danger in the world, right? Yeah, we should have this one-time buyout fee. Let's buy out the U.S. government. Well, actually, no, the government should buy out us, or whichever idea actually works. I find that if you start using equivalence in the place of There's absurd numbers anyway. Doesn't matter. None of this really matters. Absurdity exists. Woohoo! We have imaginary numbers, and now we have absurd numbers. More things for the physicists to ignore. You know, I think I was awake during that class. I mean, the professor did say all that shit. And I'm like, I have memories of seeing that shit on the board. And I'm like, isn't that how it works? And I'm like, damn, I wish I had my applied mathematics book so that I'd have everything in the place that, whatever, you know. Then there's like Wikipedia, and you can like look this shit up and all this wonderful shit. So anyway, here's the problem. Law problem. No one's going to do this, so it doesn't matter. I've pretty much driven everyone away. Alright. Alright, I was at a Rite Aid, and I was asking the lady behind the desk, what do you have for self-soothing? Self-soothing to me kind of means like something that is a replacement for beer or whatever it is. And, a sedative, but not maybe a hypnotic sedative. Let's say something that's just self-soothing. And then it's like, I want to know what the pharmacy can produce for self-soothing, in other words, right? So you can point out that there are teas and St. John's wort root and something bullshit like that. You know, little thing. You can point out botanicals and stuff like that. That's wonderful. I've heard about botanicals. I know about botanicals. But that's not what I'm interested in. I'm talking about chemistry. I'm talking about a chemist know. And in some places, a pharmacist is a chemist. So I figure that you must work as a person who understands chemistry. That's a safe assumption to make, I think. So I tried to describe a molecule that I was interested in. A molecule that promotes sleep, or is at least around in large amounts, mostly during sleep. I tried to describe the molecule, and I just get the sense that she didn't know anything. So I asked her what benzene was, and I figured that's the simplest molecule you could have around this. That anyone with any chemical background would know. I mean, it's probably the first organic molecule that you're really interested in. That it's like, why is this that way? Anyway, but I'm like, not one of the three people behind the desk there at the pharmacy knew what benzene was. Well, the guy sort of knew, and he kind of knew the concept. But it's like, then she has her, then she calls over the manager, or the store assistant manager or something like that, and to get me thrown out. I'm like, what the fuck? I had an honest question. That's it. I'm sorry, Your Honor. That was an honest question. You're being an idiot. All right. What have I got to do to get recognized around here? Right. What do I do? What do I do to get recognized as a human being, and not as someone who can just get kicked out of a store for asking a normal question? And I was like, that just destroyed any chance of me getting out of that store without thinking. I mean, it's like it stopped my thinking process. I'm like just insulted to the point I mean, I feel assaulted. I feel like no right-minded storekeeper throws a customer out when that customer is trying to make sure that he's got purchases waiting at the desk, and is just trying to secure the funds, and it's like, she didn't even know that. She didn't even know I didn't have the money to buy the thing I wanted to buy. Or actually, I probably did, but I wanted to buy something else, and I figured out a little ploy, but never mind. Did you know that? It just threw me out. For fuck's sake. Well, have you ever heard of Zeno's paradox? You know, you go halfway towards someone, you have to go halfway towards a goal. Well, you've got to go halfway again after you go halfway and halfway again, and you know you never get there because you're continually going halfway each time, and so it's like how can you possibly make it to the end of the room if you have to go halfway each time, because you know you have to pass through those points. Well, the answer is that the universe is the way it is, and you can't. And it could be both ways, but it just appears so forcefully that it's not, that you're unable to wrap your brain around the absurd conclusion, right? And you insist that the logical conclusion is therefore the more true conclusion, when it's not entirely clear ahead of time which one that is. Which one is more true, the absurd one or the logical one? Logic is pretty well tested, though. Of course, there are attempts to induce absurdity, but we've made a lot of mathematical monsters, things that we just can't get our heads around. So after a while, you gotta start paring away at those infinite loops. Dude, the brain is awesome. That was an interesting. You know, I've never heard the brain explained so well, the algorithm that the brain runs expressed so well as that thing last night. I downloaded it, but it's going to take a who's going to look at it? I don't know. But anyway, I basically use Zeno's paradox to prove that I'm not getting out of the store, but it's absurd to think that I won't be outside the store in time. You know, I basically say, I want this to be handled in a business-like fashion inside the business establishment. You kick me out for no good reason. You kick me out in front of the authorities. You meet me on a field of intellectual battle. And my first play was Zeno's paradox. So what are you going to play? And their play was get the police in there, find the stupidest police officer, and leave him alone in charge of the other guy, while you make sure that the other customers are outside of the ability to become witnesses. You secure the area. So meanwhile, we identified the idiot, and it was the taller of the two. And they even mentioned that they instantly knew that you could instantly tell which one was the smarter one. I mean, you could tell just by when they both entered it was obvious. It's just hard. It's just hard. When one of the worst things about being smart is that you can judge people really well, and it leads you to believe that you should judge, but you probably shouldn't judge. Not a good idea, because you don't want to be judged yourself. Blah blah blah, and it's just annoying. Yes, he has more potential, but look where we are. We are equals. Isn't that wonderful? Oh, you're equals, and maybe he's younger, maybe he's older. I don't know. But your envy shouldn't affect you. I'm not responsible for the effects of your defiant disobedience to the great proofs which you have received from your ancestors, with the great seal, and all this other bullshit that tells you that you shouldn't envy, and that envy is going to lead you to have pain of hellfire if you do not repent, or if you do not receive recompense, if you do not pay recompense. I don't know what the fuck I'm saying. So this is how unprofessional the guy was. He put his hand around my neck. That's unprofessional. In fact, that's assaultive. You know, I've been arrested a few times, and usually the kind of stupid thing is they never say when they're going to say I'm arresting you. They never say I'm arresting you. See, I would start complying then if I'm arresting you. But there was no warning. In fact, there's no moment. There was just touch. Once he touched me, I didn't know anything. What was that? What was that? Is that the moment of arrest? How am I supposed to know what the moment of arrest is? Why can't you give me the courtesy and say I'm arresting you? And then when it was stupid, it was absolutely stupid. I said I was going to be outside in time, and that it was absurd to think otherwise. So how can this person touch me if it's not an assaultive touch? Am I generating enough outrage now? He took his leather-gloved hand, his right hand, his dexterous hand I could feel, and put it around my throat. He'd kneel on my chest. I remember my lungs burning. But anyway, after he put him in cuffs on me, and the more intelligent fellow came back from his job of making sure no witnesses were around, and they put me outside the building. When I said I was helping them, and I was helping them, but they were being idiots. You know what I said to the police officer? Just to get him to put more shit on me, because I wanted the shit on me at that point. I wanted as much shit as they could dish out, because you know why? Because I had my rights violated in a serious manner, and the more shit they did, the bigger the grave they're digging for themselves. So I told the stupid idiot police officer, I'm gonna fuck your wife. Just the most evil thing I've ever heard. It's a terrible story, actually. Jason Doobie told me that he was gonna fuck my wife, and he followed me around on the internet. And when he found out that I got a girlfriend, he moved in and convinced her that, well, he had a lot of money. He was well off, and basically fucked her. So fuck the woman that I thought I was going to marry. So and you heard my philosophy. My philosophy is basically, how many wives do I have? How many women have I fucked? I mean, isn't that a better definition of a wife? I mean, if you're going to commit adultery with a woman just by sight, you may as well marry her every time you fuck her. So I know something about what people do to get underneath other people, and what can be done, and what really gets at people. And you know, I'd have to say that was the most evil thing I've ever heard, and I was just repeating it. That's all. You know, wasn't no intentions, no, nothing bad like that. Just that's the worst thing that ever happened to me. Oh, I wish it upon you now. I may not wish it upon you later, but right now you have my wrath. You've awoken my wrath. Do you want me to be wrathful? It's a godlike quality. I mean, God has wrath. Why are you so stupid? I think I probably asked him if he could love at will, and he said no. I mean, I don't know how to handle this. I don't want to get in any more trouble than I'm in. But, you know, it's like, I could destroy that man's career. I could fuck up his marriage and rip apart his family. But I have bigger fish to fry, I think. I think the biggest fish is my 5-year commitment to the hospital, to the state hospital. 5 years. I mean, they were like offering 3 if we capitulated and didn't go for a trial. When the trial's like 30 minutes long. What is this whole give up or you get 2 years for 30 minutes worth of pomp and circumstance? And the judge, what an idiot. That judge is a fucking moron. All right, let's put it this way: when a witness is on the stand, he is not to be excused from the stand until both parties I've finished questioning them. And during the probate court hearing, several witnesses were let go before I was finished and asking them questions. And most notably was myself, when I was let go from the stand prematurely by the judge walking out on me while I was giving testimony. So I've got to somehow work on filing some sort of what is that called when you have a mistrial? Yeah. Mistrial in a probate court. I mean, it's like he didn't even know what probate means. A probate court is where you establish a will. And what I was establishing was my will. My will was to not be treated at the hospital. My will was to go home. And I tried to establish, by bringing my mother onto the stand, that I was a human being with a will. And this is... I just hope that I don't know where to go. I mean, I guess I gotta call pro bono. I don't know. I wish I had money. If I had money, this would be easy. Because you know, if you have money, if you've been properly managing your money, you probably have around $6,000 just sitting around that is waiting to be used for an emergency. Just naturally you have that kind of money. If you're just starting out of college, you probably need to build up to that. But you always have a reserve amount of money so that you can handle all these difficult situations when they come up. And I'd say about $5,000 to $10,000 would get me a good lawyer that would probably win me a lot more in the long run than a person working pro bono. Or I could do all this shit myself. I got Black's Law over there. I got the greatest law library ever at my fingertips. I don't know. Yeah, I gotta work on that doctor too. The doctor diagnosed me with annoying 3 times. He repeated it 3 times. Your diagnosis is annoying. What kind of medical doctor does that? Probably a medical doctor that wants to be sued, in other words. I'm not sure where I should sue. It's like, if I sue the police officer, his life gets fucked up. If I sue the doctor has insurance. He's not going to get fucked over by me suing him. I have a 5-year commitment, and I think that I could use that to justify staying on disability, but I'm actually enthused about going out in the world because I haven't really felt like working. It really was kind of an illness to me. Depression. I have no problem with mania. Mania is great. You should want to be manic. You should, if you haven't experienced mania before, take some LSD and try not to be so hard on yourself. You're a great being. You have so much potential. So what if bad things have happened in the past? You are continually moving towards the future. You can't go back to the past. Just your memories, and your memories, well, they get sorted out in accordance to the memories that are that most make you happy. It's just one of the things your brain does for you. It tries to remember good memories more than it tries to remember bad memories. I think the sun's pretty much up. Don't you? So there's the 3 prongs: the doctor, the police officer, and the judge. These are the 3 people I have issue with, and my thoughts and my initial thoughts on how to go about legal matters. Unfortunately, I have legal matters that are more pressing, as I still have the charges that the officers at the scene levied, and that will have to go. I figure I want that to be settled before I make any Right now I'm on the defense. Okay, once I'm off defense, I can go offensive. Offensively, I'll go for the hospital first. I can't see going for the police officer. That's just vindictive. And the court will wait. I'll file when I get together. I'll file a motion. I'll file with the Superior Court. No, can I file? The Superior Court deals with. I don't know why I can't just go to the lowest court. I don't want to skip courts. I want. As far as I know, there are 3 levels of courts that deal with New Hampshire law, and that's the problem I'm under right now. Is under New Hampshire law. There's no federal probate court. Does that make sense? That's what the lawyer said to me. But there would be a federal superior court, wouldn't there? I don't know shit. I gotta look it up. But that's why I'm running for president. Look at me. I'm worse than Herman Cain. I don't know shit. But you know what? I still know how to use Wikipedia, and I think that makes me smarter than any person who wouldn't use Wikipedia. Besides, by the time I get in the office, I'm going to have a constitutional Congress convened so that we can establish the presidency as co-equal with a wiki of sorts. It'll have to be a wiki of sorts. I haven't seen an implementation that's good enough yet. It's like a graffiti wall. It's a wall of graffiti, and but it's more organized than that. And there has to be some, I don't know, the law should change through time. There should be no clocks. Get rid of clocks. Computers do not need clocks. It's like transistors are happy transisting on their own without a clock. We don't need to clear our memories every few milliseconds. Yeah. I really can't stand a judge for walking out on me and then still ruling against me. I don't know how you can walk out on a person and still rule against them. Because it's like, is there something about the world that you don't want to know? We may do wrong and all that other bullshit. But is there something that we don't want to know? I don't think so. Anyway, I don't think there's anything more I can really add here. At least in the moment. The sun is definitely up now. We have achieved nothing really particularly interesting. That happens every fucking day. But look at it. It's so fucking crazy, you know. We're living in the shadows.
where we see the light